Good evening. I'm Doug Petcash.
And I'm Trish O'Shea. 9 and 10 News at 6 starts now.
I'm Nancy Lee. In court today, a woman said she overheard two brothers talking about setting a fire.
This man's family has its own theory about why he was abducted, stabbed to death, and dumped in a northern Michigan field.
I'm Kimberly Purdy. Police busted 3 students for stealing Ritalin from this school, but the drugs are still missing.
I'm Peter Forton. Custom-built kayaks like this one are helping to protect one of northern Michigan's most important natural resources.
This is 9 and 10 News at 6 on Northern Michigan's News Leader.
Yeah, we'd like for the whole world to know that we're both innocent. Hopefully someday we can prove it.
Yeah. Why do you believe you're innocent?
Because we know for a positive fact that neither one of us did what all these people are accusing us of doing.
Two brothers accused of setting several fires in one northern Michigan county say they're innocent. But witnesses in court told another story today.
One woman says she overheard an incriminating conversation between the two men before the string of fires happened. Police say the brothers torched this fire hall in the Clare County town of Lake in August, and then 2 lumber yards in Farwell and Clare in October. They also believe one of the brothers burned down an excavating company in November. Today, several witnesses testified against the two men. Nancy Lee joins us now live with more.
Doug, the brothers insist they didn't do it, but one woman said she went swimming one night and she heard something she shouldn't have. Catherine Williams lives near Charles and Randolph Schaub. She says the brothers didn't hear her swimming that night, but she heard them and hid. She admits she couldn't tell who the men were because it was dark, but after the fire hall burned down, she says she realized what they had been talking about, and then she called police.
They were talking about insurance and people seeing their equipment, tools, and that they could claim it as a loss for the insurance. And there was another quote, and I believe it was, our fingerprints are all over the place, so even if it didn't burn 100%, we won't be fingered.
Detectives also testified today that the fire-sniffing dog found accelerants on Charles Schaub's hand the day the fire hall burned down when he stopped by the fire scene. But defense lawyers pointed out Charles Schaub could have filled his gas tank or touched somebody else who did. The defense saw the testimony was weak, but the judge thought it was strong enough to send the case to trial. Both men remain in jail. Nancy Lee, 9 and 10 News.
Family members speak out about this man's brutal murder. Police say 4 teenagers kidnapped the man last week. That happened at a bowling alley in Grand Rapids. Police say the suspects then drove north to Mecosta County and dumped the man's battered body. Carol Scimone has been following the story. She is live in the newsroom with more. Carol?
Trish, police say the motive behind this gruesome killing was robbery, but the victim's family thinks there's more to it. This is 66-year-old Willie Jones of Grand Rapids. Police say Jones was at this Grand Rapids bowling alley last week when these 4 teens kidnapped him and threw him into the trunk of his own car. Police say the teens drove around with Jones in the trunk, even showing him off to their friends. Then police say the teens drove to southern Mecosta County where they stabbed Jones to death and then dumped his body in a field. Police stopped the teens the next day on a routine traffic violation, saw all the blood in the trunk, and got one of the boys to lead them to the body. Police think the teens wanted cash and a car. Jones's brother thinks there's more to it.
I don't think it was at random. I think they planned it. I don't want to label it as being racial or because he was black. I don't find any other grounds to look at it on.
The teens are all from Grand Rapids. They range in age from 17 to 19, and all are charged with first-degree murder. Police say all 4 have extensive juvenile criminal records. And if they are convicted as charged, they'll spend the rest of their lives in a state prison. Live in the newsroom, Carol Scimone, 9 and 10 News.
A young man died in a car accident. Now, a married couple could face prison time for giving him alcohol. In August, the 20-year-old drove off the road in Clare County near Harrison and died. Today, Mark Rodabaugh turned himself in to police. The prosecutor charged him with giving alcohol to a minor who died. Police say he and his wife held a party at their home in Clare County and knowingly let minors in. One of those minors was 20-year-old James Schroeder from Clare. Police say Schroeder was drunk when he left the party in his car. He later crashed and died. Police expect Rodabaugh's wife to turn herself in later in the week. The couple faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted.
Police say they now know how 3 teenagers stole Ritalin from a school, but the drugs are still missing. The drugs were taken from Bel Air High School in Antrim County earlier this month. 9 and 10's Kimberly Purdy joins us now live with an update. Kimberly.
Trish, the 3 teens are all juveniles, so their identities won't be released. But police did reveal more about the crimes today, and they've keyed in on some significant evidence. Police say the 3 teens got in through the school's locked doors, then went into the locked school nurse's office and took the Ritalin from a locked file cabinet. Police say they broke in 4 separate times with a stolen set of master keys. School officials say several $100s are also missing.
Well, I think it's scary anytime that somebody comes in and takes any kind of drug because you don't know what they're going to do with it or whose hands it's going to get into, and you certainly want to make sure that people are aware this has happened so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Police found the empty prescription bottles, but the Ritalin was gone. They're afraid the students sold it because it can act like speed, but it can also be dangerous. The school suspended the students for 10 days, and they will also face punishment from the court. Reporting live in the newsroom, Kimberly Purdy, 9 and 10 News.
A warning tonight. Beware of flyers that say you can receive money if your child was born during certain years. The Attorney General's office says these flyers advertising a settlement from Gerber Products is a scam. The flyer says the company will give you $500 if you send in your child's birth certificate and Social Security card. Police say giving out that personal information could land you in a lot of trouble.
Like, yeah, right. Too good to be true, probably is. I told people, hey, don't send that in. Let me check on it first.
The Attorney General's office and Gerber say whoever started the false advertisement has not profited from it as far as they know.
I'm Peter Forton. A man who designs and builds custom boats like this one is lending his talents to a major environmental project here in northern Michigan. Coming up, I'll show you how these boats are helping preserve one of northern Michigan's most important natural resources.
Good evening, everyone. This is meteorologist Dave Barrons. Well, several weeks ago, I worried out loud with you about early warmth and intervening cold and the damage that might do to area fruit crops, to their tree buds. Well, that is one agricultural concern. We're still watching that closely. But another one is soil moisture. How are we standing here on the second day of spring as we're headed towards a spring planting season in our many fields? Well, I'll be back. We'll take a look at those numbers in just a few minutes.
You're watching Northern Michigan's most watched station, 9 and 10 News at 6, with Trish O'Shea, Doug Petcash, Doppler 9 and 10 Chief Meteorologist Dave Barrons, and Kurt Wilson Sports.